if you can save $20,000? What if you can save $20,000? There's quite a bit you can do with that, right? Denise, Shalise, there's quite a bit you can do. Quite a bit you can do with $20,000. Yes? You could possibly buy a car. You can pay off some debt, credit cards, down payment on a house, right? Would you agree? Yeah? Type yeah in the comments if you agree. So on this live, I want to share with you one way you can save 20 G's. Yeah. I have a special guest. I have a special guest. And she's going to tell us how she saved close to 20 G's. Yeah. So is this you? Is this you? Right? Every time you go to the doctor's appointments, you feel like you are walking into a used car dealership. Every time you go to your doctor's appointments, you feel like you're walking into a used car dealership. Is that you? Type yes in the comments. Yes. So you feel like you are being presented with an offer, right? For your uterus. Presented with an offer for your uterus when you go into these doctor's appointments. So, did you know that your uterus is very valuable? Did you know that? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Your uterus is very valuable. It's worth more than money can buy. So, if you take your engine out of the car, right? If you take the engine out of your car, it's going to stop running. Would you agree? Say yes. Say yes in the comments. Type it out if you agree. You take the engine out of your car, it's going to stop running. It will not run, right? It's not going to run, right? Not stop running. It's not going to run, right? Let's just keep it the majority of the situation, right? So, did you also know that you're born with all your organs for a reason? All your organs, you're born with it for a reason. So just know that they all play a vital role in your body, especially the uterus. It's more than just a baby house. It does a lot of other things, right? And we're going to get into more of that. So this is going to be a very valuable dialogue. A very valuable dialogue, yes. So I feel that your active participation, like typing in the comments, physically moving with me, thumbs up, yeah, repeating back what I'm saying that makes sense to you, that you can resonate with, is going to help you understand more, right? It's going to help you feel empowered. So I'll be asking you questions like, speak it out, type it out, throw some fingers up, right? So that way we can really start to embody what this information means for us, because there's a lot of information out there. It's very overwhelming at the end of the day. So being able to say, you know what, this resonates with me, that resonates with me, this is mine, this is good. You put all that together, it gives you more motivation to address any challenges that come your way. Yeah. Type a yes. Yes, that makes sense? Type yes in the comments, okay? So if something makes sense to you, you're motivated to address it. Now, did you know that the melanin dominant woman has the most powerful uterus? You're like, why would you say that? How can you say that? Where do you get that from? I'm going to talk more about that. But again, share this with your girlfriends. Share this with your mom. Share this with your auntie, as more and more of us are running into this. 1 out of 3 women will resort in losing their uterus. They feel like that's the only option. They want to get out of the pain that they're in. They feel that's the only way. 1 out of 3 women will resort to hysterectomy. And who makes up most of that percentage? Who? Fill in the blank. What do they look like? Fill in the blank. Denise, I'm going to invite you on. Denise is my guest. She's coming on. And she's just an amazing, divine woman that I've met a few years ago. Rocks, they look like me. Yeah. These women that are getting their uterus taken out look like you, look like me, melanin dominant women, right? 1 out of 3 women will get their uterus removed. Who's the first to sign up? Melanin dominant women. Melanin dominant women. So we think about the aspect of the melanin dominant uterus being the most powerful, but yet we're the most vulnerable, right? Power, vulnerable. Power, very powerful words, right? We're going to get into more of that. So Denise, go ahead and send a request to jump on. We're so ready to hear your story of how you were able to avoid getting a hysterectomy. You were able to keep your uterus, keep all your parts. We all want to know, like, what's the scoop? What's the tea, sis? Like, license to create literally is here. She wants to know. Rox is in the building. Shada, they want to know. Shalise, yes, send me a request. Let's see here. I'm gonna request you. See if that works. So as she joins, could you not share, but could you tell us in the comments if you have ever experienced anything that I've shared throughout these last 2 minutes, right? Going to the doctor's appointment, you feel like you're walking into a used car dealership, right? And you're being told this is the way to lose your uterus. This is the offer. You know, we do this, you know, and doctors, they get paid. They get paid, you know, to do these procedures, you know, these treatments, these temporary fixes, surgeries, quite a bit. And, you know, it's beyond that, but it's more so that you have an option based on your situation, based on your level of understanding, whether this is a way you want to go or not, right? Some women, they get the hysterectomy and they're good. Some women, it's like, you know, did I have to do that? Like, I'm miserable. I'm literally miserable now. I don't have my uterus. Like, I feel disconnected. Like, that is happening more and more. And we're not talking about those things. Bring it, Denise, on, y'all. Get ready. Throw some hands up for Miss Denise as she comes on and share her story. And there she is. Hey, Denise.
Hello.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm great, girl. It's raining cats and dogs here, but I'm keeping my vibrations up. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm feeling blessed. Happy Mother's Day to you and family and all the sisters on watching live.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yes. Lisa's like, whoop, whoop. So, Denise, it takes a lot of encouragement to come on and really talk about your story of heavy bleeding, you know, days that you didn't know what to do, confusion, all of that stuff. And I'm sure women that are listening now can relate. You know what? I was told that I had to get a hysterectomy. That was my only option. I was literally told that that is the only way that I can get out of my misery. So let's start from the jump, right? 2-3 years ago, you're family now. So I've forgotten how long ago did we meet, right? 2-3 years ago,
Yeah.
You were presented with a problem. You had some bleeding. Go into more of that and tell us like the next steps on, you know, what your thoughts were, what you did. So briefly share with us, how did it all jump off?
Yeah. So 2 years ago, I'm losing track too. Your family feels like, I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, I was at my wit's end. I was at my wit's end, bleeding for months at a time. And I was just like, yo, I'm bleeding for months at a time. No pads, no diapers can help me. I get in touch with an OBGYN, and they're like, all the options. Let's put you back on birth control. You did the IUD, okay? We could try that again. We could remove your womb. We could all these things. We can give you an ablation, thermally ablation. I'm like, okay. In the back of my mind, I'm like, is there anything that I can take, like food wise, that could help me instead of all of these invasive surgeries or in treatments that are not natural. So I left feeling depleted because I was like, okay, I've been dealing with this for years now. Like, God, for real,
You've been
I can't
dealing with
do
the
this.
heavy bleeding for years?
For years.
Oh.
For years. I've been dealing with heavy bleeding for years. But the 2 years ago was like the heaviest I'd ever felt, right? So I feeling dejected, depleted, and I'm like, God, you look like, for real though, what are we dealing with here? I can't do it anymore. I couldn't do it anymore. And after maybe about a week saying that, could have been within the week, I met you. And I was like, okay, you're hearing. Okay, I'll do whatever. So I ran you down right after that live call with you. And I ran you down.
I want to just stop right there. Actually, from what I recall now I remember Emma. Big ups to Emma, another Ghanaian sister. Emma, hi, bye to her. So she invited me to her group. She had like a discussion. It was wellness, related, and I was able to speak there. And that is where I literally met you. Yes, right?
Yes.
Become Nude. Thank you, loves. She bought a badge. I appreciate you. Check out Become Nude. I've worn a lot of her clothing, and literally it feels like you're nude. Love Become Nude. Thank you. So we met through her, and then you scheduled a call, and tell us kind of next steps after that.
So next steps after that, I felt, okay, well, during the call, I was like, wow, this is somebody who is engaged, and she's engaged for me. Yeah, maybe heavy bleeding is a lot for, is the same story for a lot of women, but you made everything unique to me, where I was in life. I was going through a lot of stressors, and I think a lot of those stressors also didn't help the bleeding situation. And then I was like, okay, so what's next? And I listened to everything that you said, because it's like, I do not want to go back to any which part of bleeding for a month, having a couple days break and go back again and bleeding again. No, so I'm sold. I was bought to what you said. We're going to deal with it. It's going to take some time, but
I guess, and Denise, what was it? What did I say that really resonated with you to say, you know what, it's time?
Yeah. What resonated with me was trust the process. Trust. That's a key word, because trust was, I didn't have trust. I didn't have trust, even though I met up with you. The big thing, the big pusher is do a drug, take the womb out, take the unit out. So even with meeting with you, I gained that trust of, okay, she sees me, she hears me, I'm unique, and I know that I have to trust her process to get better. And I think that's what that, I know it may sound like, cliche, but trusting the process, your process, it's helped me. It's helped me. So.
Gotcha. And I love that you say that, because trust is a big word. Sometimes we don't even trust ourselves, let alone trusting anybody else, right? And for you to say, you know what, it's beyond that. I resonated with what, I was saying. You were like, you know what, this is it, right? Because you're hinting down the path of a hysterectomy. So you enrolled, you're like, you know what, I'm all on board. And tell us where the progress, the results started happening, because you came in with uncontrolled bleeding. So me as a nurse, I'm like, oh, hold up. Let's take a moment, Denise. Let's see what we're working with. Let me assess the situation, make sure I can help you, right? Because I had many women I had to turn away and tell them, you know what, go to your nearest emergency room and get a blood transfusion, because it's just, time is crucial and you are at a point where your body's very vulnerable and we don't want to waste any more time. But for you, I was very confident that I was going to be able to help you with the uncontrolled bleeding. So tell us what you noticed, from the start to when you started seeing progress with the bleeding.
So I'd say within 2 months, I noticed the bleeding come down to like a week. So I was
Okay.
like,
How long was it originally?
it was like a month before I met you. It was like a
A month
month,
of
like
bleeding straight
a month
every day?
of bleeding. And I was so anemic. I was so,
Okay.
yeah, it was a month of bleeding straight. And so, yeah, um, within a couple of months, dealing with you and trying to be more mindful of things that I was doing. I had to take some accountability. So, I mean, it's not just your program. I also had to look inside of me and start taking away myself from certain stressors.
Mm-hmm.
That was huge. Within 2 months, I got down to the 7 days, and I was giving God thanks. That was I felt so glorious. um, yeah. And then within the year, I didn't even know what fibroids looked like. And you came out with a live and a live or a presentation of the womb and what fibroids look like. And I remembered one day that I looked in the toilet and saw like a whole bag of, not bag, but it looked like that because I had 8. And I saw the toilet full with those things, those, what do you call it? They're opaque and, what you call it? They were like squarish, like a cube kind of thing. And I said, okay, well, I just thought it was just part of my stool. I didn't know what it was until maybe about a month later, I saw you do your live, and I was like, my goodness, I passed them. And I felt so much free after that thing. But I just thought, okay, I'm getting better with bowel movements. I'm getting better with overall mindset and body composition. My legs and stuff like that was getting better, and just overall wellness. I just felt it. And when I noticed that that's what happened, that I let those go. What a glorious day. So I went from month-long bleeding to the week, and then just before I lost my period, it was like 3 days. And you mentioned too that the type of period you should have is like a tablespoon, if that, a day. So I'm looking at my pads, looking at me now, like,
What are you going to use?
like you're gonna use me for anything? Like, no. So that was awesome.
Wow.
That was awesome, and I thank you. That definitely your program. But the thing I want to get across to people is, to women, is you need to buy in to something, and stick with it. Because my journey, yes, it was a quick fix because I was hands down. I mean, if Phyllis said flip over whichever part, I was doing it. I was doing back whatever in the workouts, eating. I did go totally vegan for a good couple months, at least 2 to 3 months, and it was overall wellness. I was sold, I was bought in, and I have great kudos to you. I'm giving God thanks for you because I needed you in my journey, and He answered. He answered my prayers.
Wow.
But I didn't really get into the point of stick to the program so that you see a result. And if it takes you a year or 2 years, that's okay. That's your journey. You know, as long as you stick to it and be consistent. The consistency is so key, so key. So, thank you.
No, you're saying thank you. I'm saying thank you. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying thank you because the thought of you being able to be presented with, you know what, this is the only way, losing part of you, losing your engine, you know, out of your car, you know, that keeps you running, keeps your femininity, keeps you energetically in harmony. Thank you for, you know, putting it out in the universe to what you wanted, right? Versus what you don't want, and it coming through for you, because my cup has been full, you know, knowing that you were able to resonate with a little bit of what I'm saying, whether you sign into my program or you don't. If you can take this information and exercise it, use it to make the best decision for you. As you know what, you're the one that's going to know what's best for you at the end of the day. You know for you. Shalise, I'm in the program. I'm in the program and I'm grateful. Thank you, Shalise. Lady Locke, peace and blessings go to you, girl. I feel that. Become nude. Amazing. Keep going, P. You're making a difference. Thank you, y'all. Thank you for the high vibrations. And I want to go into a little bit more of that, Denise, because I feel that many, many women, and what you've been able to learn in the program, is that the womb, the uterus, is more than just an organ. It's more than just for reproduction. It's more than just a baby house. But there's a lot of research, or finally catching up with research, that there is a connection between the uterus, the brain, and also how the uterus plays a vital role in a woman's body. And hysterectomies can put many at risk for cognitive decline, right? And really play a role in their life expectancy. So there's a lot of research coming into fruition with how powerful the uterus plays in your body, right? And I said earlier, right, the first to sign up for hysterectomy are women that look like us, right, Denise? Would you agree? Say yes.
I would agree. I would agree. And they catch you at your most vulnerable point. So I don't blame them. I mean, if it was, definitely God stopping me, because I was there too. I was like, something has to stop. Something has to be done. So they catch you at your most vulnerable point, and they sign up for it, you know. So love them through it.
And thank you for sharing that and emphasizing that, because I mentioned in the beginning $20,000. $20,000. How can you say that? I was talking to a woman a couple days ago. She shared how it would cost her $10,000 for her to get a myomectomy. One of the reasons she was on our fibroid consultation is to see more about the program and see if this can be an alternative for her, because she was presented by her doctor. She would have to, or by that she would need a myomectomy, right? And the cost was $10,000 for her to pay out of pocket. So knowing that a myomectomy is a temporary treatment, and that's what doctors perform. You said it earlier. You can't blame them. Doctors are going to treat you. We need doctors, right? Especially for an emergency situation. But at the end of the day, hysterectomies are happening at a astronomical rate that is completely unnecessary. And it's like, do I really need this, right? So even when it comes down to a myomectomy, temporary, you get the fibroids surgically removed, they can grow back if you have not addressed the root of the issue. So many women are going 2, 3, 4 myomectomies in. Just imagine how much costs, and not even the energy, the time off work, how much money you're missing with that, right? So you got $10,000 you spend for one myomectomy, energy, emotional, your emotional well-being, everything that else that goes into it, having to be off work, right? How much is that worth? Is that worth anything, right? And then, 6 months, a year, 2 years later, they grow back again, only for you to have to go through that again. That's another $20,000 plus some, right?
Right.
And then by the time you know it, you're like, you know what? I'm done. Sign me up for the next hysterectomy, right? And melanin dominant women are the most, compared to white women, are the first to give up their power when it comes to that. So giving up their power, they may not be aware what they're giving up when they sign up for that hysterectomy. And doctors, they get paid 15, 20K to perform that treatment, temporary fix on you, because even though you get the whole unit removed, so fibroids cannot grow on the uterus because it's no longer there, but fibroids can grow in other parts of the body, right? And also, we have not addressed what really caused fibroids in the first place from an energetic standpoint, right? Energy moves, right? It doesn't destroy. So whatever you're going through, conflicts in life, in your childhood, you've been raped, trauma, you miscarried, today's Mother's Day, this can be a lot, very triggering for many women. There's a lot of things that we're healing from. And the thing is, are you healing, right? Are you moving towards a point where you are releasing some of this energy out of your body? Because what's happening is the energy that we're not addressing, the stagnant energy that puts us in a space of being disconnected, not fulfilled, troubles with relationships, money, those things will start to become something physical, right? And leading us down a path of chronic disease. And that includes fibroids, diabetes, high blood pressure, you name it. So the thing is, if we as melanin dominant women, we're very powerful. Our melanin is highly absorbable. So a lot of things that go on around us, we are more at risk for bringing it in to our body because of the power of our skin color, the power of who we are. We're so unique, but yet we're so powerful, but we're also very vulnerable, very vulnerable. And the uterus is literally the last on the list when it comes to your body being in survival mode, right? Just think about it. You're constantly stressed out. You got a lot of things going on with work, and you have not released that energy out of you. You have not addressed some of the challenges that you're dealing with in a cultivating way. You got a lot going on. I keep it moving. You hear that a lot. Well, the thing is, what's not moving is that stagnant energy, and it's really starting to stick on the womb, on the uterus. Stick in the womb, on the uterus. And it's causing buildup, congestion, traffic jam. And you're not exercising your femininity, because one of the characteristics that come with the uterus, and drop a one in the comments if anything is making sense. Denise, let's stop there. What's resonating with you so far? I've said a lot of things. What's resonating with you so far?
I think so. Everything's resonating, yeah. But in regard to for me, I can only relate it to me, how I feel, but a lot of the stressors, it just makes sense how we get these fibroids, because as you mentioned, where is that energy going? Where, and when I do some of your workouts and you target certain areas, it's like, oh, okay, now you feel a little more loose in this area. You feel a little bit more what do you call it? Free. So that's huge.
Yeah.
That is huge. You don't realize how huge that is when you say we're working on the stagnation. We're getting rid of the pent up energy that's just staying right here. So what's it going to do? It's going to attach onto the areas that have not been. You say you're sitting down and you're working in your high stress job. I'm sharing with you sometimes some of the things that I've gone through on my work, and before you know, 2, 3 hours is like, wow, wow. And then there's some major arteries down there. What's going on? We're not moving for 2, 3 hours. It's not good.
My
It's
God.
not
Build up, traffic jam. Oh my gosh,
good.
Denise, you are
Build up.
speaking gems right now. Speaking gems, because the thing is, we're sometimes not aware of our thoughts. LJ, hey LJ, we're not aware of our thoughts. And from the past, we may be replaying a lot of things that have went on in the past in our body, and most of it is vibrating very low and in low frequency state. So our bodies don't know what's real or not.
Right.
We are telling our body what's going on, right? But you may have had a traumatic experience from your past. You lost a baby, a death in the family, but you have not addressed it in a cultivating way. You may not know that that experience is replaying in your body. Your cells, which fibroids are fake cells, type 1, if you understand, fibroids are fake cells, type 1, right? So fibroids are fake cells. So your cells are like, oh my God, we're going through this again. We're going through this again. And then you're creating a survival environment in your body. Your body goes into survival mode. You have no clue. Denise just said it. You're just sitting there working, not knowing you're having these thoughts running in the background. So the uterus is like, oh my God, I'm scared. The uterus is scared.
Yes.
Type in the comments, uterus is scared. Rox, Denise, 111. Yes, Rox. Uterus is scared. Denise, when your uterus is scared, when you're scared, what do?
Exactly. You close off.
And what?
You tighten up. You tighten up. And yeah. And then things just start attaching to you.
Keep going. Let me give you guys a visual. Keep going.
Yeah. So the confused state that the pelvis is in is just gonna culminate into, those leeches. I call them leeches.
Yeah.
I get them out of here. I don't want them out of here.
Yeah. So Lise just said it. Uterus is scared. Keela, you tense up. What happens? Uterus starts to want to protect itself. It forms what? What does it form? Type it in the comments. What does it form to protect itself? Because you're in survival mode for an extended period of time. I'm talking about years. Years. What happens? Yeah. So these thoughts, this energy may not be just yours. You're melanin dominant. You're amazing. You're unique. You're powerful. Your body absorbs a lot from the environment. You may be having thoughts from your great grandmother. It must have been very hard for her back then. Could you imagine? Right? And you're still carrying all of that weight. We as women, we as melanin dominant women, we suffer through the pain.
Right?
We help everybody. We got to do this. I'm good. I keep it moving. Sis.
Without caring for yourself. Yeah. We're always, most times we're last. Yeah.
It's not helping. It's not helping. We're getting away from our femininity. What comes with the uterus? What high frequency words, Denise, that I kind of tell you guys in the workouts? What high frequency words come with the uterus? I'm going to give you one. Nurturer.
Yes.
Nurturer. What's another one? Shalise, Keela, Denise, what's another one?
Comforter.
Compassion.
Yeah.
Caring. Are you exercising those powerful words? Are you doing that?
Most times, no. I am now, but back when I had those fibroids, it makes sense. I wasn't speaking those words of affirmation. Love, loving of myself, knowing who I am in alignment with the Most High. Now that I am, it's a different story. Those things, even though they, one or two may come back, they're not staying. They're They're not staying and not coming back with that veracity. No way. So, yeah, your mindset is totally key, totally key. If you're always thinking about, okay, my kids, oh gosh, like, I'm not saying not to think about your kids because they're always on my mind, but when they become not just your kids, but your family, we take on, like you said, we take on so much. We're one person. Like, we need to know how to let go, delegate, give ourselves grace for mistakes that we've made, and that helps to keep it moving. But when we, keep it moving without releasing for ourselves, then the stagnation comes. I saw in the comments there, definitely stagnation comes, and it blows up in some way. It'll either latch on to something or blow up in some way. So we just have to be mindful. Yeah.
Absolutely. And what would you say? I mean, you've been through the program, and you are now a queen leader. And I'm so grateful for you, Passion and Ratnika, because the help and support, Keela put in the comments, supporter. I'm able to exercise those powerful words with you because I was once at a point too where I was doing none of that. I just stayed in the masculine. Growing up, my dad was like, Phyllis, you don't need any friends. Just do it yourself. You got this. Do it yourself, And that's what my dad knew. I can't fault him for that, but that was not helping me. I was not exercising my femininity. I was, it was getting in the way with relationships with men. I was attracting, different types of men that were on a different frequency, but it was a reflection of me because I was just too hard, too stiff. It was like, loosen up. I didn't know how to do that. It's like, oh my God, I gotta be this way, I gotta do this. Oh my God, it was so debilitating.
Yeah.
So debilitating. Now it's just like, I don't get, it's like free, So with that being said, I am not perfect. I came from a lot, and it's a great reflection of where we are now, Denise. You being a leader in this community, and we all working as a team together with your success and helping other women that come on board, like Shalise and other new ladies that have jump into the Women Wellness community. And I appreciate you. And if I haven't told you enough, you are so appreciated, Denise. Thank you for, supporting me. And, hopefully I'm giving you back that energy for us to continue growing together and supporting this wellness community. But
yes, thank you.
Yeah. Would you agree, though, that the healing never stops?
It never stops. Never stops. No. But, like right now, there's a few things that are going on with me. But what I'm grateful for is the mindset to deal with. I believe that the mindset is here, and the body's a bit lacking right now, but it's okay. It's gonna catch up as I navigate through my healing, and this new chapter of my life is to just keep positive about this, to continue to keep positive, because we're great creatures, women. We're mothers of the world, and we're called to be great, definitely, and empower each other and one another. So I'm grateful to you, Phyllis. If it wasn't for you, as I said, I wouldn't have been able to be healed to the extent that I was. I wouldn't have been motivated to get in alignment with my Creator and the God that has created me to be this person and be aligned with you in the program. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Yeah, and I'm grateful to the community. Shalise, I know I need to get out there. With look at all you got some really nice comments going on, Phyllis, because yeah,
No,
It,
right back
it,
at you,
it,
Denise.
it,
And the
it,
thing is, I feel like
it,
you and I are creating some synergy here, and I appreciate the compliments, but I would like to say that it really started with you. Like you put the energy out into the universe to receive a a guide, to receive some direction, to to get to your higher self, to move towards your higher self. So you put this out there, and I want you to acknowledge that, you know what? It did start with me, right? It
mhm.
started with me, and it's still going because of me, right? Because of my attitude, and my gratitude to want to seek more. And you're doing it not just for you, but for your kids,
Yeah,
everyone around you. Because
you're
if
right.
you're good, everyone else is going to be good. You taking care of
Exactly.
home, right? You cleaned
Yeah.
out this home here, so
Yeah.
now your outer environment can can slowly start to resonate with the inner environment, right? You're
Mhm,
creating
mhm.
this reality. You, Denise,
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stacy just
Mhm.
joined us. And out of the program, what would you say, with all the practices you've done to get from avoiding a hysterectomy, eliminating all fibroids, you saw them pass in the toilets, you had 8 fibroids, and now here you are, a queen leader in the womb wellness community here at Fibroid Queen. What was the most valuable resource for you that really helped? Because there's a lot of women out there, their biggest desires is to eliminate fibroids for good. They're sick of going through the surgeries. They don't want to become a human zipper, right? They're sick of the birth control, the IUD, this, that, being sold, you know what, if you get a hysterectomy, this is going to be so much better. There's a lot of women that are in this stance and are listening right now. When it comes to eliminating fibroids on a higher level, what was the number one resource out of the program that helped you the most?
Phyllis, um, they are all great, but they're all great. I can't say number one. Um, Definitely your mindset coaching. Um, that really kicked things off because I came in with a victimized spirit, and you know you basically said, like, okay, no, okay, you love me through it, but you also like, yo, you got to pull this up by the bootstraps, and let's get going, um so the mindset, the food, um, the menus of the food, um, your suggestions for my body type and so on, and the workouts, and then the community of the women actually meeting on a monthly basis, um, and, and even with the accountability calls, the one-on-one calls with you and the other queen leaders, that it I can't say one. It's like everything. Your program is a holistic, beautiful thing.
Wow.
It Yeah, it's a holistic, beautiful, helpful, beneficial, all those
Not even
words.
one?
Uh,
Not one
I, I can't say one. I can't say one. I will say it's all it's all the whole of that is one for me. For me, the whole of it is one.
Oh my.
And yeah.
You
So like I said, I
continue
think
to
that's
shock me, girl. I'm like, is this Denise? So, like Denise, 2, 3 years ago, you probably wouldn't have done a live, right? Like, you
yeah.
wouldn't be here. No, but like, look at you. Like, you're just like a whole different person. Whole different. Do you realize the growth you've had in the last couple years?
Yeah, yeah.
You're a whole different
Sometimes
woman.
it's
It's hard to
true.
because you're actually in it right now. But
Mhm.
I mean, for me, looking in and just being able to see you like talk right now is like surreal. Like, wow, this is Denise. Like you, if I would have asked you to do a live 2 years ago, you'd probably be like, no, I'm not doing
Mhm.
that.
And I told you that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did ask you. You're like, no, not right now.
No,
But you're
no,
like,
no,
and I
no,
was asking you
no,
today. I
that's
was like,
not
it's Mother's
happening.
Day. I knew you're gonna be with your kids. You're like, no, we're good. I'm ready. I'm like, okay, Denise. Excuse me. But I want to reintroduce myself for those that don't know me, that are out there. Maybe you just touched on this page, this topic that we're talking about. I'm keeping all my parts. Literally, I'm keeping all my parts. And my name is Phyllis. And I help women eliminate fibroid pain in less than 30 days without wasting time, money, energy on ineffective surgeries through my unique holistic program. And Denise here is my amazing, amazing warrior, client, queen leader. She's been on our program for 2-3 years now. And if you have not got this synergy, this reflection of how the mission that I really want to lead with is to help women become better versions of themselves, right? And being able to develop a womb healing practice through this program, through this unique holistic program, a womb healing practice that they use throughout the rest of their lives. And you know what? I believe in the power of the melanin dominant woman. Yes, the melanin dominant woman, because what you don't know is that if we can pour into the melanin dominant woman, we can help everybody else. You know, it's just what it is, right? And we have to be aware and open to receiving how much power we have as melanin dominant women. We have the power. Denise, say it. We have the power. Shalise, we have the power. Madami, we have the power. When we have the power.
Mm-hmm.
But it's often underestimated and underrated, which is also a reflection of uterine fibroids, why we're more at risk, right? And it's a very repressed element that happens, and we are mostly not aware of it. Happens consciously, spiritually, and it really leaves us vulnerable to what we've been conditioned to believe, where the society is going with this push of, this narrative, this agenda to step out of our femininity, step out of the things that innately are within us. We're getting away from that, and it's causing more and more havoc in our body. Our hormones, our cells don't really know how to act anymore. Our cells, cells, right? You are a big cell. There's trillions of cells in you, right? And there's some on the uterus, which are fake, that are fibroids. And it's like, how do we unravel that, right? Mm-hmm. So it starts with being aware, as Denise said, mindset, being aware of your power, being aware of how unique you are, how special you are, right? And start making preventative changes. And like I said, I think one of the biggest challenges when it comes to trying to naturally address fibroids, the bloating, the heavy flow, as Denise talked about. I remember I was bleeding for days. Like, I was lucky to get through 2-3 hours with super max absorbency pad. Super max absorbency pad. I was lucky to get through just a few hours on my heaviest days. I mean, I was running heavy flow like a running faucet. Yeah. Many women are like, how do I naturally address this? What to do, what to eat, how to eat. And you just mentioned, Denise, how it's a holistic thing, right? It's a holistic thing. Like, out of the program, you weren't even able to tell me one thing that really helped the most. It was just a combination of everything. And I feel a lot of women have that disconnection because it's really addressing all of you, not just going into the hospital and just getting cut open and just taking out fibroids, because you've left what caused them to begin with. And then you're more susceptible for them going back again, getting right back in the same situation. So this is why I created the Unique Holistic Program. This is a program you were in, Denise, and it's a proven structured system where you don't have to waste time and energy trying to figure it out on your own. It's already there. Denise told you this is how she was able to avoid getting a hysterectomy, keeping her uterus, right? Becoming a better version of herself. And it's still happening. She just told you she's dealing with some challenges she's still going through, but it's not the same anymore. The vibe is different on how to handle these challenges, being able to learn these skills in this program. And you also resonated with her story. being able to avoid a hysterectomy, knowing what foods to eat, so you're not going down this assembly line of of womb challenges, uterus challenges that lead you to a hysterectomy.
Yeah.
You can avoid that by commenting, sending me a DM, learn more to get more information on this unique holistic program, right? Because as Denise said, time is now, right? You knew that you were at your wit's end. The doctor was telling you, you know what? Hysterectomy, uncontrolled bleeding. We were able to eliminate that. You went down from bleeding nonstop. I didn't know it was that long, actually. A whole month of nonstop bleeding, right? To after a couple months of being in the program, unique holistic program, you dropped it down to 7 days, you said. And then it went down to 3 days. And in lieu of that, you were able to eliminate 8 fibroids. You saw them pass in a toilet. Now, describe them again, because the thing is, I was able to describe to you because this happened to me. You know, being able to eliminate shrink fibroids. And I had large fibroids, right? Yeah. So it's possible, ladies. It's possible. Save your 10, 20, 30,000 G's. Save it. Right, Denise?
Yeah, 100%. And stick to it. Stick to a program. Stick to something that will work for you. And you will only benefit. You will only benefit and smile and feel empowered. Like when I realized that, hey, we were on a session the other day, a coaching call, and he said, how did that make you feel that, you know, you still have your uterus? And I was like, geez, empowered. There's some just a little younger than me, some about my age, that's all they knew. And thank God you know.
And all they knew was a hysterectomy, right? Is what you're saying?
Yeah. Whether it be partially or the full. And, you know, in when they had that removed, then they're on pills, they're on, you know, like they're on these things that are not as natural. Yeah, not natural.
Wow.
Yeah, to regulate, to now be the engine of the body. So I'd rather work with my natural engine.
Natural engine, right?
Yeah, she's good. She's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, oh my gosh. Well, let's close. I mean, because it's, again, this is just a empowering dialogue, and I know that I want to be precious of your time, and I want to close with this, and then Denise, I'll let you close with any thoughts or anything that comes to mind for you. Ladies, those listening, gentlemen, we innately are the mother of all things. You know, you may have just birthed an idea, birthed a business, birthed the energy to help someone else through a traumatic situation. You were able to birth the energy to help someone on their healing path. You were able to birth yourself to a higher place, right? You started off years ago, rough. Life was hard, but now you're in a much better situation. You are the mother of all things. Happy Mother's Day to you. Happy Mother's Day to me, Denise. Happy Mother's Day to you.
Thank you.
Happy Mother's Day to all of us. All of us. So, Denise, what you got? Brief, anything that, a saying, an intention that you just ride with all the time, what would that be?
I'd say be accountable to yourself. If my coach is here, I have a coach. I think I saw her. If she's on here, I hope she's still on here. Get a vow to yourself. Make a vow to yourself and say it to yourself daily. Thank you, Eve. She's also a godsend. And to keeping my mindset right. But be accountable for yourself. And it's okay to be accountable for yourself. Put yourself first, because we cannot serve our family or anybody else from a hospital bed. So consistently, daily, be about you. And in all of that, everybody else will come with you, if that makes sense. You know, they'll be a part of your plan. But once you are in alignment, oh my gosh, you're an immovable force. And yeah, your family just benefits from you. Yeah.
That was beautiful, Denise. So simple, but so powerful. Thank you, Denise.
Thank
Oh my
you.
gosh, you just did a whole testimony, almost an hour of your time. We are grateful for you, so grateful, and thank you
Thank
for all you
you.
do in the women's community. Without you, ladies, queen leaders, I don't know where I would be. Thank you for helping me, because you know I'm all over the place sometimes, but I know
No,
that
it's me.
you ladies always have my back, and I have your back, and it's just we're just a beautiful family. It's more than just a team. It's just we're just one unit, and we are keeping our units in our body and vibrating
Well,
high.
thank God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go. All right. Thank you, Denise, again. Happy
Thank
Mother's
you.
Day to all of us.
Thank
And
you to
let's
everybody.
continue to be great. And you felt
Mhm.
empowered, share this video. Share this video. Again, 1 out of 3 women will resort to getting a hysterectomy, so it's happening at a high rate. Let them know there are other resources out there to avoid having to invest time,
Mhm.
money, energy when it's not needed. Save your 20 G's. Let's put it down on something else. All right.
Please.
Yeah. Let's keep our units if we can. Right. All right. Thank you,
Mhm.
Denise.
Thank
Raps,
you.
I see you.
Take
All right.
care.
Bye.
Yeah. Mhm.